Hey guys, David here. Welcome to Digital Outlook, where you're going to find the best community in all of crypto. In today's video, I'm going to show you why waiting on the sidelines in this move could be your greatest regret. So guys, without further ado, why don't we get to it? Now, guys, this is not going to be a long video, but it's going to be one you're going to want to watch to the very end. It's going to be that important. But before we start, would you smash that like button down there so that the algorithm will push this information out to as many people as possible? That would be fantastic. Well, guys, if you're anything like me, you have been watching these markets today, and boy, what a bunch of green candles we have been seeing. It has been absolutely fantastic. I was watching Hedera Hashgraph, and man, I watched it just take off beyond 35%. It was a tremendous move. Now, guys, where we are in the cycle of this space, I believe, is we're in that disbelief phase. We're ready to come out of this bear market and start to make our way back up the stairs into this next major bull market. Now, guys, many of you in this channel are invested like I am in these ISO 222 tokens, and utility of these tokens is phenomenal. In this next bull run, which I believe is probably going to be the biggest one that this space has ever seen, utility is going to be a major driver, and I think we're going to see some major, massive appreciation in XLM, XRP, Hedera Hashgraph, Algorand, Quant, and the like. It is going to be something else. Now, guys, there's also the opposite point of view out there, and a lot of chatter going around saying, hey, this is nothing but a sucker's rally. Guys, this has happened every single cycle, and it's my feeling that those folks that actually adopt that narrative, it will come back to haunt them as being one of their greatest regrets. Let me show you why. So guys, just over here, what I've got is the total market cap for this entire cycle for all of crypto. And there's some things I would like to point out to you. Now, hey, I do technical analysis. I don't do it on the channel, and it doesn't mean that I don't know how to do technical analysis, but the reason I don't do it is because, hey, there are a lot better technical analysis guys out there than me, like Blockchain Backer, like Coins Kid, like eGrag Crypto, and the like. And for me, I don't do it because there's so many copy traders out there. And if I'm doing it for me, I'm confident in my trade. Maybe I'm putting $200-300 in it, but somebody else might see that and they'll say, hey, David's doing it. And they'll put their hope. Well, what if I made a poor call? I don't want them copy trading and then suffering because I happen to call it the wrong way. But guys, I do know a little bit about some TA. I'm going to share just a tiny bit of it with you today so that you can get a real clear picture about where we're at in this cycle. So guys, what I want to show you is this was our major run up in that last cycle. And of course, what happened next was our correction all the way back down here. Now guys, this up here that you see this top here, this is what's called an expanded flat correction under Elliott wave theory. And so what happens in an expanded flat correction? This is your first major impulse, and it tops out over here. Then you go through this corrective phase and you do your A, B, C correction like that. Well, what happens in an expanded flat correction is the B wave is higher than the first impulse wave, and the C wave extends much deeper than the initial A wave of the correction. So let me just show you here. And I know this can sound a little bit like gobbledygook, but it kind of gives the explanation of what we're talking about. So over here, this is about Elliott wave expanded flat corrections. The expanded flat correction is a common corrective structure seen in wave 2 and 4 of a motive wave, the connector in a zigzag or any part of a double or triple correction. In a bullish trend scenario, price moves against the trend lower in a three-wave structure to form the A wave, which is what happened in that last move. Wave B also is a three-wave structure and advances beyond the origin of wave A, which was the first move to extension most commonly, which is a 123.6% of wave A. The invalidation level for the completion of wave B is above the 161.8%. Wave C needs to be a five-wave structure and hold RSI divergence between wave 3 and wave 5 of completion. Guys, it's a big, long technical explanation, but here, look at the picture right here. Remember what we just saw when we were looking at the total market cap there? It came all the way down. You had your A way down the bottom here, and look where the B was, way up here. And where was the C? Way down here below the A. So if we were to go back, what do you see in there, guys? You see in your A, you're seeing your B up here, which is beyond the prior impulse, and look at your C wave down here, along with, hey, that zigzaggy motion right in there that we saw, right in here. Well, you're seeing that, guys, right in here. And that is what is called an expanded flat correction. So why is that important? Well, guys, that's important because the real top of the last market was over here, not here. And that means for the amount of time that we have been waiting, which I think is well over 480 days, we are due for a turnaround in this cycle. Now look at what's happened. We came up, tip down, and now look at, we're making this big move here. Well, guys, I want to compare that to the Wall Street cheat sheet, because this is where the psychology of the market gets really real. So just take a look at here. Here's your major run up. It's this disbelief over here, which, by the way, came from back over here. So you have this disbelief. Then you move up into kind of like a hopeful stage. Things are turning around. Maybe this is really going to pan out. It's not a sucker's rally. And then on and on, you're marching up until you hit that blow off top, and it is on like Donkey Kong. Well, guys, right now, what we're dealing with is right in here, this disbelief phase. And a lot of people are coming out and they're saying, hey, this is nothing more than a sucker's rally. Well, guys, I think those folks that come out with that are going to be sorely disappointed. Now, guys, what I've done is I've actually blended that total market cap chart and the Wall Street cheat sheet together to show you why I think what I just said is the case, that those guys are going to be truly disappointed. Just take a look over here. So, guys, here again, we have our big run up. We have our big correction. Then we have this expanded flat correction and then off into our bear market. And now we're making that initial move up. Well, guys, here is that first run up. What you see here is what's going on here. Now, this is a normal flat correction at the top, but you can see it peaks out, it retraces, and then it comes back. But in an expanded, it peaks out, it retraces, and it pops back up. So if this was an expanded flat correction up here, you'd see it peak, drop down, and it would pop up a little bit. But what would happen right after? Because, guys, if this was a major and it was going to be the blow off top, then what you would have seen is it would have kept going a little bit, but it didn't. It petered out and boom, a massive, massive drop down. And that's exactly what you saw in here. And then what do you see, guys? You see all this wavy consolidation back in here. Literally, what are you seeing? All this wavy consolidation until you get capitulation, which is right in this area here. And what did you get here? Capitulation right in there. And now what's happening, guys? Well, we're starting to come out of it. And people are getting out of this depression, but there's still a lot of disbelief in the market. And you are seeing a major, major move. And a lot of disbelief is coming in. But guys, I believe it's going to lead over to this part right here where you're going to see this disbelief turn into some real kind of confluence and confidence and hope. And then people are going to start moving up. You're going to be optimism, true belief. You're going to see the thrill. And man, are we going to see probably the biggest bull run this space has ever seen. It is truly going to be phenomenal. Now, no one can tell you how long this is going to take or how high it's going to go, because no one, of course, has a crystal ball. But I do believe genuinely that we are starting to march right back up those stairs. And the folks that are sitting on the sidelines right now, And they're thinking, well, I just don't believe it's going to happen. We're going to see lower lows where it's going to drop way off down here. Not going to happen, guys. Not in my estimation, and not in a lot of other excellent technical analysis guys like Blockchain Backer and CoinSkid, not in their estimations either. And I'll tell you what, guys, the time to truly be buying, the time that most folks should have been buying, were right in here when we saw blood on the streets and massive capitulation right down in here where you saw these prices drop so low. And what was going on? What was the narrative then, guys? Absolute fear on steroids. People were terrorized. Remember that whole fear and greed index? Where were we? We were like bing, 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 way down here. And that's when the narrative is coming out. Oh my goodness, don't touch it, don't buy it. Oh my gosh, you're going to lose, it's going to drop, it's going to go to zero, and on and on. And that's the narrative that comes out every cycle, keeping most folks away from buying. Because I'll tell you what, guys, do you think millionaires are made when they're buying way up here? No, what's going on way up here? Well, way up here is where you have all the celebrities, the Matt Damons coming out, Fortune Favors the Brave, the Jim Cramers, all of the big time celebrities pumping it, pumping it, pumping it. What do you think the institutional investors are doing? They're dumping it, dumping it, dumping it way up here. And most folks buy high and sell low, even though common sense tells us to buy low and sell high. Most don't do that. That is a statistical fact when it comes to retail investing. And they call this, guys, the Wall Street cheat sheet. Remember that. This is not the Main Street cheat sheet. They have market makers that know this cycle like they know the backs of their hands. And I'm telling you guys, the narrative is always the same. And it's what they put out there. And the way in which you beat them is not to follow their advice. It's to follow their behavior. True millionaires are made in deep, depressed markets because they're willing to step out, take some risk, make some really valued assessments, right? You've got to have a filter, real world utility, great management team, strategic partnerships, prior price action, something that's valid that you're using as your filter. But you go in and you take positions when it's down here, and when you're offloading, guys, you're doing what they do. You can't, most of us, I'm not a whale, most of us can't be a whales, but we can follow them and follow their behavior. And we buy down here. This is when the whales are accumulating big time, just like I showed you yesterday. And where are they offloading, guys? Way up here. That's how millionaires are made. And you can be a winner in this game. Do not let someone else's fear, uncertainty, and doubt cheat you out of an opportunity for life-changing wealth. Guys, do your due diligence. You research it, and if you're not convinced, then hey, don't touch it. But I truly believe that as you peel back this onion and you really do your research, you're going to see what I see. You're going to see what the institutional investors see. You're going to see opportunity down here in order to make life-changing wealth up here. That is what I genuinely believe. And I believe this next bull run is going to be the biggest and the best one that we have ever seen. And utility is going to be the biggest driver of this entire move. So guys, let me take a few seconds to describe our coaching program for those who don't know. Listen, in this next bull run, I believe it is going to be the biggest one that we have ever had, and you're going to want to have your plan in place. And what our coaching program is, that is where you and I meet personally one-on-one for 1 hour over Zoom. And during that time, we actually help you to strategically develop your exit strategy. We take a look at your portfolio and make sure that it's balanced towards your goals. And on top of that, we can even help you take your assets off an exchange and put them on a hardware wallet, along with providing you some amazing techniques that will really help you in this space. Now, the cost of that is $250. And if that's something that interests you, you write me right there at coaching@thedigitaloutlook.com and we'll get you all booked in. So guys, let me remind the community of our Discord server, which is an absolutely amazing place to meet like-minded individuals and discuss all your thoughts, ideas, suggestions, and opinions, you name it, with respect to anything in this digital asset space. It's absolutely free, and the link is right down there in the description of this video. Now guys, I truly hope that you enjoyed today's content, but I also want to invite you to join the conversation and drop your comments down in the comment section there. Open it up to the community and start a discussion. Now, as many of you know, I'm not a financial advisor, and this isn't financial advice, but if you found value in it, if you'd hit that like and subscribe, I'd appreciate it. And hey, don't forget to hit the notification bell down there so that you don't miss out on any of the videos that we're uploading. And if you're one of the thousands of people who have been watching these videos, but you haven't yet subscribed, would you do the channel a favor and join this community? We'd really love to have you on board. So, in the meantime, and in between time, stay safe, be blessed, and I'll catch you in the next one.